Honorable Minister Sir, Chairman CRC, Additional Secretary, Chairman MERC, Mr. Sone. It's actually very difficult to speak when the Minister is hearing, but sir, with your permission, I'll make an attempt to put forward the views of the utility. Fundamentally, if you look at ancillary services, there are three ancillary services: frequency, the VAR, and the black start. And where has the ancillary services come from? Because in any of these three, the reason why an ancillary services has been created is because there is a gap between demand and supply. So the demand and supply gap comes up, and because of that an ancillary service market gets created. And why does this demand and supply gap come up? Because I am actually down on the ground operating a 14,000 megawatt grid in Maharashtra. Why has this gap come about? For two fundamental reasons. First, renewable energy, as the Minister rightly pointed out, with wind coming in almost 9% now of renewable obligations. With wind coming in Maharashtra, we have a wind capacity of about 3,000 megawatts. At night, suddenly it jumps to 2,000, and in the morning it drops to zero. Just in a matter of 4 or 5 hours, it drops to zero. And you really don't know what to do now at that point of time. How do you arrange that 2,000? So you have created a demand-supply gap by infusing in renewable energy. Whether that's good or bad is something which is still to be debated. Spain is coming out with this thing that, well, it was not very correct to have inducted that kind of renewable energy. I will not get into that debate, that's one. Second reason why this gap has come about is because of the, if I am allowed to use the word, perverse tariff structure that we have ended up in. In Maharashtra, for example, cost of power is 556, but we give it to agriculture at 20 paisa. So we supply 23% of power to agriculture and get only 5% of the revenue. When you are sending this kind of a skewed price signal, you are creating a huge demand-supply gap. The use of electricity is not efficient. Now, having created a gap, we are now looking at a business opportunity. And the business opportunity is trying to provide an ancillary service. Now, in all this, we have forgotten the fundamental person, and that is the consumer. He is lost. In fact, since morning that I have been here, nobody has ever talked to the consumer, but because we are there and we are dealing with 2 crore consumers, we bill them every month and we enter their homes to collect that money. So we know what the consumer feeling is all about. The fundamental issue about this is that once you have created a market, does the consumer have a choice? Before we talk of ancillary services, my humble submission would be that we must get into TOD metering. We must have time of the day metering where you send the price signal to the consumer that if you consume during peak hours or when there is a gap between demand and supply, whether it is a frequency-based gap or a VAR gap or a black start is when you're starting from zero. That's a different ballgame altogether. But are you wanting to use electricity at that point, at that price? As a poor consumer, I might say, well, I will switch off everything and go for a walk. I'm not going to use that power. So we don't have the consumer at the center of this thing, and we are projecting a demand for value for these services without actually putting consumer at the center. So the first and foremost thing that we need to do in this country is that we need to put TOD meters. For your information, in Maharashtra, we did this thing, we put TOD meters in all the industry. And we said, okay, industry will give you a discount of 2 rupees 50 paisa at night if you are using power from 10 to 6 in the morning, and the regulator supported us. And now we find a huge shift in demand which has taken place towards the night. It's just evened out the curve. We are seeing almost 300 to 400 megawatts that has moved towards the night. So once you give the consumer a choice, you would be able to shift peaks, which you are now looking at a business opportunity which really may not really exist. Secondly, in a country like ours, where you have a huge variation in climate and time zones, in fact, we should have been having 6 time zones, where the day in the northeast would start at 5 in the morning, but in Bombay it's still about 8 in the morning that you start. We don't have an interconnected grid where you can actually do consolidation of or appropriation of demands and availability. So unless the grid is flowing, and there's a huge evening out of curves that can take place just by doing this. For example, in Maharashtra, we tried this experiment last year, and we intend doing it this year also. Delhi and Punjab shows a huge spurt in demand in July. In Delhi becomes very humid in July and air conditioning load jumps up. Whereas in Maharashtra, we have the monsoons in full bloom and my power demand drops. So we had a little arrangement with Delhi and we said July will pick up power from us. And if you know, in October, Maharashtra's demand peaks because all the sugar factories start. They are fundamentally a Rabi state. And Delhi, October, demand starts dropping when the winters are setting in. So we said give us back the power in October, November. So instead of creating a market, we had a barter system which sorted out without any cost to anybody. The same thing we tried with Punjab and we want to repeat it this year once again. So my humble submission first is that before we get into this, let's look at first giving the consumer a choice. If given a choice, my feeling is that 60% of this ancillary services market might just disappear. Because the consumer in India is very price sensitive and the poor consumer is already very green. And that's what I have petitioned the regulator now. That the poor consumer is green because he doesn't use a washing machine. His children study when the daylight is on. He doesn't have a television. He's hardly using any electrical equipment. So he's already green. He's saving a lot of your carbon footprint or whatever. It's the rich consumer who's using all this air conditioning and lighting which he may or may not need. So if you have to sell green power, please load green power onto the higher end consumers rather than loading the poor consumers. So green power should be by choice and not by force. You can't force me to eat organic vegetables. If I want to save money and eat the ordinary vegetable, you can't say no, you must eat organic vegetables. That's where the future is. Fair enough, but I can't afford it. So we are trying to force green power onto everybody rather than the polluter or those who want to look green. Let them buy it. So I leave these two simple, humble thoughts before you. Thank you so much.